Have you ever done something without feeling sorrow? When me and Emily were kids, she would always be the favorite. I had saved up my allowances for 312 years to buy tickets for Hawaii, but Emily threw a tantrum about how she deserved to go. So my mom used my ticket for Emily, and I couldn't go. Years later, when Emily and I were adults, Emily tried having a baby, but she couldn't get pregnant no matter how hard she tried. But I had already had my own baby. When I had given birth, my mom had waited until my baby was 3 weeks old to say that Emily had to keep my baby. I started yelling at her, saying that Emily was not able to keep my baby. So then my mom started talking about how Emily tries so hard to get pregnant but can't, and how I could just get pregnant again. I had to explain to her that that is not how that works. Weeks later, I realized she had forged my signature, and those papers that I apparently signed was for me to let her legally adopt my baby, which I didn't do. A couple years later, Emily had kept my baby and made my baby think she was his mom. Every family function, I would go home crying into my hands, knowing I wasn't able to get my baby back. That was when I went to Emily's house after she had dropped off her baby off at school. She asked why I was there, and then I yelled at her saying, "I want my baby back," then slapping her with all of my force. Then I swung my arm down and fell back into the couch. "I just want him back," I would say. She looked down on me and laughed. "Remember these?" she would say, showing me the forged paperwork. "Yeah, no," I said back. I slapped her again, but this time less hard. "Please, I want him back." I sighed. She looked me up and down. "Do you really think that I would just hand him over?" she asked. I sighed and nodded. "Hopefully." A couple weeks later, I found out that she had killed my son by hiring a hitman. I had stood up to her. And so then she said, "If I couldn't have him, you couldn't either." I just looked at her, terrified. I slapped her harder than ever. "I hate you! I hate you!" She just looked me up and down and said, "Stop that, it tickles." After she had said that, I had grabbed a butcher knife and put it to her face. "You will regret this," I said. She looked at me with no fear and said, "Okay." She grabbed the knife and threw it. "Get out of my house," she said. I sighed and looked at her again. Wait for 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, I had hired a hitman to kill her. I went and helped him. I grabbed my gun and he grabbed his. "Time to die, bitch," I said, feeling no remorse. We killed her and fled. A few more weeks later, we had a funeral, but I did not intend, and when people asked why I didn't go, I would say, "I don't care for a person who ruined my life." Then I would turn around and ignore them. A little later, I got married and had another kid. Named him the same, and he looked the same. I was happier than ever. I just smiled when I had the thoughts. No remorse.